4, looking to ride that wave of momentum against the Blues.
Plenty of work tonight for Harrison Coe. He's going to have multiple rucks to deal with. He outpoints Flynn Riley on this occasion, and straight away, Frankston forward through Hipwell, fisting from the side via Lambert, coming to meet at Payer, the former Werribee player who's returned to the VFL via the Blues. Charlton shuffled the handball out to Riley, Wilson, Hogg, and eventually Chincotta. Kick shallow though, who's there to meet it? Phipps Parsons, Smith. Out to the cool hand in defence, Lloyd typically, but reading the cues nicely for a pair of Blues. Barter with the spoils.
Ollie Barter drives to the pocket, out of bounds on the full. And nudge this Frankston defensive unit, which has got 4 or 5 really solid, settled players in it. And he's one of them, Josh Smith.
Slightly different mix for them tonight. Fascinated to see how they move the footy, Jace, with no Jackson Voss.
So Smith doesn't hit the kick all that sweetly. Lucas Campriali feeds it back. Ferranato just spirals it forward to a 2-on-2. Who's down at the back? Ball spills. Arriving quickly was Luke Nelson, one half of the Nelson brothers. His brother Matt will play against Coburg tonight. Play for Frankston. We hazard a guess that's the first time they've played against each other. 6.5-year age gap between the two Nelson boys. Great night for them and the family.
Yeah, wonderful story, especially Matt, who's been toiling away all year with Noble Park in the Eastern League. Milne to Coe, Chincotta. Run to the line by Hipwell. Jono, the psychology in footy, fascinating. Frankston last week beat Collingwood, packed house, riding a 5-game win streak. Carlton come off a bye. Prior to the bye, a 108-point loss to Casey.
Yes, it's a bit of a mental battle at the moment, especially for Carlton. We've had the last couple inside forward 50s, so they're really up and about at the moment. But as Jason said, the defence is very experienced here for Frankston in tonight's game.
Speaking of, Barter cut down from the blind side by Will Hamill, whose AFL experience with the Crows largely dwarfs what's in the Carlton lineup tonight, but they've generated 3 front half turnovers, but has been the problem at AFL and VFL level for Carlton this year. It's their mid-forward connection that's let them down once again.
Yeah, they're going to need to take their chances tonight against the Dolphins, because we know Frankston will get hot at some stage, and we've spoken about their firepower. Kicked 54 goals in 3 weeks, the Dolphins. So the Blues are going to need to kick a score tonight. O'Keefe, Ramshaw, retreated. Chincotta floats it to the square. Front position was Granger Barras. Smith paid the mark and turns it over once again. They've had some dodgy exits so far, Frankston, and now it's up to Darcy Hogg to go back and punish them.
Yeah, they've had a couple of opportunities, Carlton, and just not able to hit a target, but it's taken a mistake by the defensive group in Frankston just to turn this ball over, and now he can go back and have a shot here, Hogg.
Really positive start from the Blues. They've had the first 4 inside 50s of the game. And Darcy Hogg can go back and put it on the scoreboard. All this hard work early sees the early initiative. Hogg, the son of 95 premiership player Matthews, steps up and slots it. Opening goal to the Blues. Truck assist replay, Jono. The Blues did a good job locking it in their front half, and Frankston helped them out.
Yeah, it's all good in terms of, turning the ball over, but once you win the ball, you've got to be able to go back, compose yourself and have the shot, and young Darcy Hogg there was able to go back and slot that one through the big sticks.
So you can see what this means to Frankston, a chance to jump up into that top echelon. And for the Blues, well, they're fighting for survival.
Yeah, they can stay relevant in the wild card race with 3 rounds remaining. They'll head forward once again. Phipps Parsons, it bounces off his chest, and Macca, it looks like the Blues have got the agency of the breeze.
Yeah, it's picked up probably in the last 10 to 15 minutes. I'd say it's at least a 2 to 3 goal breeze to the right hand of screen. And a familiar face for the Dolphins runner tonight in pink is the captain, Trent Minott, the injured skipper. Injured that scaphoid bone in round 14. They tell me he might get back for an elimination or a semi-final.
Best way to get some meterage on the GPS. Beats training, running out and sharing some messages. Hipwell from defence. Payer. Not paid it. Might have to cough it up. Lambert had plenty of him. Former Tiger who's returned after a strong season for Aberfeldy, where he's been playing forward, 38 goals in 12 matches.
Flynn Riley, promising young ruckman on the Blues radar and the radar of others, I'm sure. Takes it from the ruck, Monaghan. Charlson squeezes it forward for Carlton. Coming across in support is Milne. He's run down by Ollie Barter. And again, some good forward pressure from the Blues.
Yeah, really good. Carlton have got 5 inside forward 50s to Frankston only 1. They've averaged 46.4 this year inside their forward 50, Carlton. So if they can get it in there, they've just got to make sure that they lower their eyes and be composed with their connection with their midfield and their forwards.
Ollie Barter, premiership player at Old Scotch last season in the Ammos. This is Ferranato. High up and under kick. Will pitch in front of Granger Barras. Over the top came Ferranato. Spills to Milne. He looks for an option up the middle of the ground and finds one. It's McComb.
The kick 2 last Saturday night. Shapes the kick for Gray, who can meet it and could have shared with Riley instead. We'll send it deeper by foot. Allison to the front. That'll be a hard task for any defender. And the movement and the connection is so apparent in Frankston's front half at the moment. Jono, you referenced the volume of goals this big 4 has accumulated. Harry Jones, who lit it up last Saturday night with 4, gets a crack here.
Yeah, he's kicked 9 in the last 3 weeks, so he was out there. The Carlton defence didn't shift over. The quick ball movement out of their left back pocket brought it in the corridor and pushed it out to young Harrison Jones. He's
had 14 scoring shots from 29 kicks in the VFL this year, and he can send it too. 10-5 now, his seasonal total. Frankston with 1 score from 1 forward 50 entry.
Rare miss for Harry Jones. Plays at Old Haileybury, and he's kicked 31-10 for the season now between Old Haileybury and Frankston, so he doesn't miss often. But pushed that one across the face. Billy Wilson with the kick-in duties. Long to the broadcast wing. It'll clear Riley. Gee, got some distance on that kick. That showed the breeze, and Harrison Coe's about to kick the wrong way. And now he's called to go as a result.
He's done the 4 miles.
And it was funny because the Carlton players realised that they were happy to just let him go. Hamill inside 50. Over the back, Phillips in best position. Charlson, lovely blind turn, got himself clear. Monaghan, Wilson. The Blues already showing a preparedness to run it from the back half. That kick not great from Wilson though, Dane Harvey. No chance, but they do get it to half forward where they can lock it in the front half.
Yeah, very congested. They're running it out. They probably just needed to spread themselves a little bit there, Carlton defences, that they run out, because they just were unable to give the right option, and they could have entered that ball inside their forward 50. They had to go wide left because there was nothing deep.
That really was a definition of giving Harrison Coe enough rope, wasn't it?
Yeah.
No, play on, mate. You're right. Off you go.
He resumes hostilities on the other wing with Riley, who gives it a flick. Luke Nelson. Chincotta didn't get much of that left foot kick. Alex Chincotta just shows his rise, Jace. This is his 30th VFL game tonight, alongside now 40 at AFL level for Carlton. He got his opportunity off really what he did in 2022 when he was second in the Blues, VFL best and fairest. Frankston mucking around with it in defence. Finally some cleanliness. Blamires of 44 7 days ago against the Pies. The fly will come. It was Jones. Coe. Campbell Farrell back into the lineup tonight, had his kick smothered. Owens. Riley has to wear the tackle, and out it comes. And Carlton have brought their best early. Dozzy the latest.
That was a great tackle by Dozzy. He just kept with the ball, kept with the play, and just undecided there, Frankston going forward. So he had to hang on to it for a little bit longer, and the Carlton defenders able to tackle.
Nicely weighted kick to Flynn Riley. As you mentioned, promising youngster on the draft radar. to the pocket. Harvey off one hand and out. There is Tyson Gresham, Carlton Academy prospect, younger brother of Jade at Essendon, co-captain this year of the Northern Knights, averaging 17 touches a game, kicked 12 goals in 10 games. Hard at it, half forward. O'Keefe out of the ruck. Cincotta lays the tackle. The other thing about the Alex Cincotta story that just adds to the persistence nudge, it took him 3 years to play one VFL game. He played one in 3 years. He did the knee, then he had COVID. And to go along now and have played 40 AFL games is an absolute credit to him.
And ACL in a Geelong VFL practice match in February 2020. A long runway just to get to state league level, let alone where he finds himself now as a pro. Gown having to hunt high up the ground to get involved in Frankston's largely stifled ball movement. Allison can take advantage of the drop mark. Askew, Blamires leant back on the kick to get it right. And Jones marks again.
This is his spot.
Would have license to launch. Maybe the only thing that diminishes that is that breeze to the right of screen or Port Phillip Bay end of the ground. Mind you, you can look at that discussion two ways. If you go far enough in this direction, you'll hit Port Phillip Bay as well. Jones with the only score of the night for the Dolphins. He'll tee this up. Gown over the top of Riley. Riley at ground level for Frankston. That'll do. Jono on the truck assist replay. The Blues' problems at all levels this year on show once again. They've had 4 more inside 50s and they trail 12 minutes in.
Yeah, look, Frankston's gone forward a couple of times, just haven't had the options there, but this time they did. They went out wide, but certainly there at ground level, able to be there and being able to get it there was Riley. Outstanding, just had no time and just knew where the goals were.
Yeah, I feel like the Blues are going to need a mountain of inside 50s tonight. Ramshaw having the jumper held there was Granger Barras. And then a good tackle applied by Joe Lloyd. And the glove gets his man.
Well, that's what we've seen from Frankston this year. Their defenders really standing up and they've got a good defensive group back there. So they just need to calm themselves down a little bit.
Milne's kick up the middle was aggressive. Well done, Monaghan. Forced a contest then. Laid the tackle and played the role of backpack with Noah Gown.
You're right, Jace. Carlton are going to need a number of inside forward 50, especially kicking with the win this quarter, and they need to make sure that they put the score on the scoreboard.
Little feed out. Delivers inside 50. Was Harvey being held? He goes to ground. Throw it in the pocket. Granger Barras and Josh Smith coming together. So it'll be Harvey and Granger Barras, the two main key forward options for the Blues. And then some clever smalls at their feet, such as Barter and Phipps Parsons.
And you can see the size difference between the defenders and the forwards, Jace. They just look a bit different. In Frankston, defenders look more mature than Carlton's forwards.
Harvey outsized in the ruck against Gown. Good pressure from Phipps Parsons. Quick whistle. The tackle on Hipwell. And it's a free kick for a hold, is it?
Yeah, I think it was off the ball, Jace.
Yeah, to Dane Harvey,
yeah,
who contested the ruck contest. So great opportunity here. Dane Harvey plays his footy at Fitzroy. Was best on the ground for the Big V in the Vapors game against Perth a few weeks ago. A renowned goal kicker. Blues need one here. Some return for their effort, and Dane Harvey pops it through for Carlton's second. So whether it was a block or a hold in the ruck contest, either way, goes to Harvey. So here's another look. Truck assist replay. There's Dane Harvey, centre screen, number 73.
Block.
A bit of a shepherd, the umpire said. Block or shepherd out there. So as the
Maybe
ball
just a late
came
whistle
in,
on the ruck contest?
Yeah, I think it was. But again, you've got to be able to get your shots, and obviously there was a free kick, but you've got to be able to go and kick it, and Benjamin Stevens went back and kicked that nicely, and now has Carlton's second goal. As we said before, they need to get more inside forward 50s to get shots on goal, and that's what they're doing at the moment.
5 last week for Harvey against Old Camberwell. 1 tonight. O'Keefe with the knee into Co, and then the thump. Harvey presents. Soft drop will work for Hogg, who's got 1 tonight and is showing a real touch of class in season 25.
Well, Johnny, you played a fair bit of footy against Matty Hogg. This is his son, Darcy. He's got some class.
He certainly has. He's gone through and kicked his second, but that's just showing up. That's a small forward, just showing up where you're supposed to. Is the ball's gone over his head. He got front and square, got to the front position, was able to sort of assess the situation and go around. That's his second goal for the quarter. Outstanding there by Hogg.
So O'Keefe in the ruck. There's a hold. Which way is it going? It's going Frankston's way. It's going to come back to George Gray. He scurries away and launches it inside 50. Coming out to meet it is Jones. Drop the mark. Campbell Farrell. Quick kick from Warburton. High back towards the middle of the ground. Hamill will get over the back. Awkward bounce. Fisted forward by Gray. Chincotta harassed by Hamill. They pile in on top. Ball's in there under there somewhere. Ball up right on the edge of the centre square. The Blues leading it by 11 points. Great to have you with us. Prime time, 7 VFL.
Frankston's forward entry is just a little bit shallow at the moment now. So when they got it long and deep, they were able to get some scores. So they've probably got to run and carry it up to half forward with this bit of breeze and get it a bit longer and deeper inside their forward 50.
Well, let's see what Will Hamill's approach to that is going to be as he earns the free kick for a high one. Moran short. His kick's lower, but I don't think that was intentional. Tricky one to mark for Charlton. Tosses it out. Hipwell has a glimmer of hope. Ball tracks into the pocket. Johnson won't be able to keep it alive, but the Dolphins at the very least will take this forward 50 stoppage. Their 6th entry of the night. The Blues have yielded 3 goals from their 11, as you can see there.
So Hipwell able to shake the hips and get rid of Lucas Campriali. The kick went to the pocket. Now an opportunity. O'Keefe up at the front against Allison. Tried to lay it down, but George Gray was the first man there.
Just got to make sure that they can see the goal here, Carlton. They've been pretty good in this first quarter. They've been pretty good in their defensive acts in their back half as well. Just can't concede a goal here.
And here's a skew. It's fed through. Hipwell. Johnson concedes the goal to the Blues. Johnson on the board.
Yeah, great work here. As we said, Carlton just need to make sure they had numbers back there, but everyone was just zoning off. They needed to get some touch and feel there on that stoppage and just lock down, not have anyone spare, but a couple of free spare Frankston players there, and obviously gone through. Matt Johnson there had an outstanding season. That's goal 24 for the season. 25 rather.
10-2 in his last 4 coming in tonight. He is so crisp a finisher around goal. Both of Frankston's majors coming out of general play and ground balls inside their forward 50. Coe and O'Keefe. Without it, Ferranato. Hipwell has been a presence around the contest so far. Kick favoured Wilson, and he'll take the mark in front of Burke.
They can't just long kick like that, Frankston, at the moment. Obviously, we're in late stages of the first quarter. Again, they need to run and carry. Where all their goals have come from is around 20 metres from goal. So they need to get it longer and deeper. So they need to link up through hands.
Billy Wilson in familiar surrounds, having, of course, grown up a bit further down the peninsula, playing his footy with the likes of Dramana and Rosebud. Camporeale, scrubby ball. It dropped quickly. Granger Barras wasn't expecting it, and Milne takes it to the line.
Carlton's forward pressure's been pretty good. They've got the ball inside their forward 50, and their smalls have really gotten busy and kept it in there as much as they possibly can. They've just got to make sure that they put a bit of pressure on this Dolphins defence as they come out.
Coe at the front against Harvey. Solid tackle there from Matt Nelson as we head boundary side and welcome in Will Hamill. Will, thanks so much for your time. What have you made of the first 21 minutes?
Yeah, they've brought the pressure, which we knew they would, so it's just about us absorbing it, and yeah, that's not great there, but yeah, doing better with the ball in hand, I reckon.
And Will, it looks like you're going very shallow inside your forward 50. You probably need to, would it be more about running it up into that wind a little bit more and get deeper inside forward 50s?
Yeah, definitely. That'll help us lock it in for sure. It's just, yeah, adjusting to this wind. We probably haven't done it as well this quarter, but yeah, there's still enough time to correct that, so yeah.
Ollie Barter will step up and kick for Carlton's fourth goal. 35 out. And he slots it. Will, how's the vibe been around the club this week? It was a red letter night last Saturday night.
Yeah, it's been a great vibe. We're hoping to use that victory against a very strong side to kind of propel us into the next few home and away games. So we're going to try to use that energy in our head here tonight, so yeah.
We'll appreciate your time. I'll let you get back into it.
Thanks, boys.
Ollie Barter, just fantastic there. Obviously, you mentioned him before, Jason. Normally a halfback flanker, playing it in the amateurs at the moment for Old Scotch, and has shown a little bit up forward as well. And that was a great execution for him. He was able to get the turnover, but go back and slot the goal. That's the most important thing.
You can see the defensive mindset. He comes from being a halfback. He's now been a small forward, and it's all about that pressure.
Chincotta hunting. Off the line comes Owens. Spits free Charlson. Ramshaw couldn't get boots a ball. Lemires checked the kick. Bit indecisive around the contest, the Dolphins, and not clean either. Moran clasping at Owens. Charlson, he has been clean. Emerges on the left, tumbles the ball. It thumps into the chest of Lloyd. It's almost tossed forward there by Matthew Nelson. Where's Big Brother? There he is, handballing it out. Ramshaw, hog for a third. He thought about it when maybe the handball was the option. Nonetheless, Phipps Parsons, back to Harvey. Frankston have got their work cut out right now. And Milne knows it as well. He takes it straight to the line to score a try. Good pressure there from Barter. 2-goal lead to the Blues.
Well, it's a defensive pressure at the moment, Carlton. They're getting the ball inside their forward 50, which has been good. They're leading that 13-6, but more importantly, their small forwards are putting the pressure on the Dolphins' defence.
Duffy at the back. Owens won't escape that tackle. Ball up. Blues by 2 goals. As we hit the 24-minute mark of the opening term. Prime time Saturday night, 7 VFL. Great to have you with us. Critical game for Frankston. The Blues fighting for their season. Ferranato stripped by Hipwell. Barter tried to duck under the Milne tackle. Ollie Barter been in everything so far.
He has. He's really been busy at the moment. He's already kicked 1 goal. He's kicked the last one at Carlton, but he's tackling pressure, and all the forwards at the moment, their tackling pressure is pretty good by Carlton.
Chincotta to a dangerous spot. Granger Barras tries to put some pressure on. Trouble now for Campbell Farrell. Barter's got him as well. Moran's kick's partly smothered. Frankston working overtime here under enormous pressure. That's Tyson Gresham coming in over the top with Farinado. Owens on the bottom, nowhere to go.
Yeah, and that's what you like. You like that as a defender. If we're forwards are working hard to keep that ball inside their forward 50, it gives the defenders a little bit of time to rest, and same with their midfield.
There's no fist on that attempted hand pass from Owens. Wilson doesn't take the advantage. Lucas Camporeale. Dish. It's going to come back. Billy Wilson would have liked his chances knowing every blade of grass on Frankston Park. Now wrapping around the back's payout. Camporeale with the agency of the breeze. Not his best effort, but it still carried 50 and then some easily enough. So 1-5 for the season for pick 54 in last year's AFL draft. And the Blues would be very happy right now having doubled Frankston's score.
Moran's kick, awkward for Askew. Nicely picked up O'Leary. Trying to bust through there was Matt Nelson. Wilson in the other direction, needs to get the hands free. He managed to. Monahan, he has to dish to the outside. Good pressure this time from the Dolphins. Nelson, Askew, quick kick from McComb. Blamires had to stand and wait for it. Wins the football now. Tried to flip to the outside. Ramshaw cut it off. Riley back to Ramshaw. Awkward one to be one in the middle. Well done, just busting through there was Vickery. Gets the ball moving Carlton's way, and now it's out. Here's Barter having a fantastic opening term. Sets it up for Harvey. And he can go back and, as Granger Barras and Smith come together, and that'll be 50. Dane Harvey will walk to the goal line, kick his second, and the Blues will have their 5th. 2 to Harvey. And Josh Smith comes to the bench. Not sure if it's a pre-programmed change, Jono. Not often the fullbacks come off.
Yeah.
That might be a reprogramming.
I think so.
Ollie Barter involved again, Jono.
Yeah, look, again, it's their tackling pressure around the middle of the ground for truck assist there. And you see the punch in the face there, just not needed. But Ollie Barter, again, looking like he's set out to have a good game and deliver that ball beautifully inside the forward 50.
32 handball receives to 19. The Blues are cutting them in this part of the game. Ramshaw to Dozzy. He kicks. Lloyd got a fist to it. Harvey will be gifted a third. Or will he? No! How? The indecision from Harvey, he would have been better off kicking it into Nepean Highway. Too cute, and an opportunity goes begging for the Blues to lead this game by 4 goals.
According to Macca, they do have a 2 to 3 goal breeze, so they need to make the most of this dominance. Lockie Riley's kick wide. Gown hammered over the line and into the fence. Let's hope he's okay. That was pretty solid.
Just for Harvey there, Joe. So I think he was undecided. As he was about to drop the ball onto his boot, he's seen another Carlton teammate player on top of the goal square, and he was almost going to try and get it to him. So undecided there he was. He just needed to make sure he went through and kicked it.
Gown's kick's going to drop short. Wilson will cut it off. It was touched off the boot. Payer sets his feet. That's a strong. Did he grab it? Must have hit the deck.
He's been pushed forward, I think. He started back, but now he's gone forward a little bit at the moment, or he's just snuck forward. He's just going back now, so he's snuck forward. He's going to be a key role for this Carlton team to get over the line tonight if they're going to win.
Yeah, Sam Payer, who spent most of the year last year at Werribee in defence, then went forward come finals time and played in their premiership. He's joined the Blues midway through the season. A really handy pickup. There he is there. Sam Payer, 23-year-old.
Yeah, came through the Calder Cannons, through their 16s program, through their Barry Davis program, and then through their under-18s as well, and has sort of really adapted to this VFL football.
Came through one game at Essendon in 21, then 34 games at Werribee, including the premiership last year. So great to get a little bit of experience, even though he's only 23, one of the more senior players in this team for the Blues. It's a very young side. Milne is run down by Tyson Gresham in 79. Chincotta tries to squeeze it through. Hogg's there, there's a high shot. Hamill came in and gave away the free kick, and the Blues are going to get another look here, and it's Denver Granger-Barras who's ruffling a few feathers.
He certainly is. He was sticking up for a teammate before, but at the moment, what they're trying to do, the Dolphins, are trying to be really physical against this Carlton sort of, as you mentioned, Jace, inexperienced team with Pye sitting at 23, and it's not working for him at the moment. Coming through there was Hamill, unable to sort of nail the tackle, just needed to be lower, but he's got to go back and kick this now, Granger-Barras.
To make the most of their opportunities with the breeze. We know Frankston will have it in the second term. Granger-Barras sets it up, holds its line, it's perfect. So 2 goals to Harvey, 2 to Hogg. Singles to Granger-Barras and Barter. It's been an impressive opening term from the Blues. Jono, they lead it by 26.
Yeah, they're dominating the inside forward 50s with this breeze at the moment, which we said is about a 2 to 3 goal breeze, but it's 6 to 17 in favour of Carlton. They just keep getting in there, and what you've got to do is when you've got that breeze, get it in there, and when you have the shots, they've been able to make sure they've gone through. They've kicked the 3 behinds, but they've actually gone through and had a 6-goal quarter. That's pretty good.
Denver Granger-Barras with some feedback for the Frankston Symphony Orchestra on the terraces at Kinetic Stadium. So now they're starting to take advantage of this territorial dominance. 17 entries for 6-3. Frankston inside 50 just 6 times in the opening quarter. Blamires, Chincotta presses him with multiple tackling attempts. Ramshaw with 13 touches to start his 50th VFL game has helped set the tone. Ferronato 8, Chincotta 7. Hipwell 7 for the Dolphins. And it continues between Dozzy and Blamires post the contest. Campbell Farrell looking for a body.
The Dolphins just trying to bring that physicality again there, Nige. It's not working for them. They need to get back to what they know, hunting the football, winning the football. Their clearances this year, their average clearance, Frankston's, at 35.8. So they're actually able to get the clearances. So that's what they need to get back to, rather than being physical against this young Carlton side.
Clearances largely break even at the moment, but the issue for the Dolphins is turning it over, and then Carlton's ability to quickly turn these situations into an uncontested chain. Owens, Riley, good dexterity from the big man. Nelson won't find a body. Hamill grabbed a touched ball. Milne through 2 Blues. Blamires, too cute, kicked it into Riley, but he'll barge and charge. Blamires again, bounces off, can step, chip, too much on the kick though, and Carlton win it back.
Charleston did well. Ramshaw draws a man. He's got a couple of options to the outside, and they can combine. The handball out in front of Wilson. He'll be corralled by Moran. In the end, he'll just snap it across his body, take some territory. Going back with courage was Hogg. Hogg from 55, sets up the kick. Good contest from Granger-Barras. At least forced the contest. Trying to feed it forward was Gresham. Milne under pressure. Blues there again. Nelson. Phipps Parsons goes at it. Frankston shuffling backwards. Blues surging. Nelson off the deck. Misses left. Irresistible right now inside 50, Carlton.
Well, it's their pressure again. They just keep getting it forward, and their smalls again just push it all the way to the goal line and then turn the ball over. And an outstanding opportunity there by Carlton, but just unable to execute.
Luke Nelson turned 28 last Wednesday. So Corey Ellison loose in defence for Frankston. We saw Jackson Kornberg pull that lever a couple of times last Saturday night. Right now, it's to stem the bleeding, and it's quite the flow. Johnson, one of their goal kickers in the term, alongside Lockie Riley. 2 to Hogg, 2 to Harvey, and the Blues have had a feast in their front half. Flynn Riley out of the ruck. He just keeps getting better and better. Carlton denied by the siren, but what an opening term they had. And it's on between Smith and Granger-Barras. And Josh Smith has got to be really careful here. He's already given away 150 tonight. And the Blues...
A little bit of time, but you're right. The coach there, Jackson, just said They've got to get back to their contest work. That's where the Frankston Dolphins have been so good this year, is about winning the contest and not the aggression at the player, which we spoke about the first term. They need to get back to that.
Will there be a response? Riley's excellent in the ruck thus far. Ramshaw had a truckload of it in the opening quarter. Moran, half-volley kick, no look from Owens, back to Moran. Clean where necessary was Gray. The kick's a blast. There's Dolphin numbers there. Gown out pointed by Payer. Where's the Dolphins' ground game? Johnson's taken to the deck. Cohesive Carlton in the opening 30 or so minutes. 7 AFL listed players in their team tonight. If you're just joining us, Jackson Binns off to Perth as part of Carlton's team to face Fremantle tomorrow afternoon. Fist in from Harvey, who was good in the opening term with a couple and should have had 3. Hamill to the circle, Gray. O'Leary wide to his left. He rolls right. Allison will fly, but a solid fist in. Nice work in defence between Phillips and Payer.
Of those 7 AFL listed players for the Blues, only one of them has played more than 2 games at AFL level. That's Chincotta with 40. There's Jackson Cornberg checking on Darby Hipwell, who had that corked calf. So the Dolphins have the breeze in the second term. Can they make use of it? Lambert can't wriggle free. Askew was looking for a free kick and the umpire said nothing doing. He pleads his case. Riley and Gown. Riley with a reach over the top. Gown picks up the football. Monahan. Did he get into his back?
I think he may have, Jace.
It's going to be a free kick to Noah Gown, a chance to go back, kick the opening goal of the second term and get something rolling here for the Dolphins.
Yeah, that's the tackle where you know that you're coming in. You've got to roll your shoulder over and make sure that you don't go in the back of the player. That was quite an easy free kick. The umpire in the perfect position there.
It's Rob Monahan, the Irishman. So Noah Gown been a good finisher this year. He's kicked 27 goals, 11. The Dolphins need this one to just get themselves rolling. Flat in the opening term. Can they find a spark early through Noah Gown? He gets it through.
Well, we spoke about the big key forwards for the Dolphins leading into it. Gowan, Johnson, Ellison and Jones, and we haven't called them too much this quarter, but Gowan comes through, kicks his first goal of the game, and that's what the Dolphins got to do. They've got to start getting the ball inside their forward 50 as much as possible and take a little bit of a leaf out of Carlton's book in the first term.
Great to have Chris Johnson with us tonight on our coverage. 3 home and away rounds left in the Smithies VFL season. Frankston seeking to make the postseason for the second straight year. They've already got to their win total of 20-24 and 10 home and away victories. Can they keep the march going tonight? Lemires forward, punched away from Johnson by Payer. Dolphins to finish their 25 home and away season with matches against North and Brisbane. Carlton with an AFL and VFL double against the Suns next week, and then Footscray to close things out. Gray was on the move, but Carlton better around the contests at the moment. Ramshaw forward, Phipps Parsons couldn't quite slip Lloyd, and that meant the kick only found Smith. To Milne, wide for Moran.
Ollie looks up, drives it to the wing. It's a one-on-one and good front position from Matt Duffy, the Irishman. Stood tall, took the grab. Retreats to Sampaya. Paya. He's got a man in space. It's Lucas Campriali. Important minutes here for the Blues. Frankston have started the second term with a little more intent. So Carlton, if they can either hold or even get one against the flow, would be really handy. This is Flynn Riley.
And this is a good build-up. They're just being very patient, getting it up into their forward 50, not blazing away and doing sort of deep, shallow entries. They're going to make sure that they get some deep entries here, Carlton.
Cooper Vickery. He'll now set it up to the corridor. Smith goes to ground, gets a free kick against Hudson O'Keefe, and Josh Smith's been in everything so far in the first quarter and a bit. And he'll start the build-up from the defensive square. Vickery will go up. Gown somehow, and then Vickery stole it from him, gives it to Chincotta. Chincotta will drive it to a one-on-one. Harvey will go back with the flight, actually got in the way in the end of O'Keefe. Ball hits the deck. Hamill under some pressure. Beautifully stolen. Barter creates a stoppage.
And they're those deep entries that we spoke about, what the Dolphins weren't doing in the first term. Carlton getting in there, and then their small forwards getting to work and keeping the ball inside their forward 50. That was going to be an exit, an easy exit there for the Frankston Dolphins, but Barter coming across and keeping the ball inside their forward 50.
Playing with some real energy at ground level through the likes of Barter and Hogg. O'Keefe out of the ruck. Smith flips it. And we'll have a ball thrown in the opposite pocket.
You can just see the physical development of Hudson O'Keefe now. He's been in the system for a few years. You compare him to, say, Dane Harvey, who hasn't been in the system. Similar frames, but the amount of muscle that Hudson O'Keefe now, he looks like an AFL player.
He's gone from inflatable in front of a used car yard to man. Favoured on that occasion, but Coe got it. He was taken down in a strong Gresham tackle. Good recovery from Gresham. Eventually, Ramshaw missed the target, but had layers. Monahan, Ramshaw, back with the flight goes Owens, and simply had to get a hand in. Barter 2 to beat. If he had stayed upright, he was in it. Milne with the ground ball. High rainbow that's not going to favour Campbell Farrell, who had his legs taken out. Now is that 50? It's not. Frankston get a chance to reset.
Need to be a bit smarter there. He had him cold turkey. He had numbers around him. Just needed to make sure that he came down and keep that ball in the inside 450. Don't just hand the ball back to the opposition so they can get an easy exit.
Campbell Farrell, high to the wing. Gown against Vickery. Ball hits the deck. Stevens waiting for it to come out, but Ferronato will make sure that doesn't happen. He wraps up Nick Burke and will win the free kick. Christian Ferronato playing VFL game 13 tonight. He's 7th of the season. He gives it plenty of height to half forward, and why not? The Blues have got plenty of targets there, but well read on this occasion by Harrison Coe. Off to Milne. Aggressive kick to the middle of the ground. Good closing speed from Paya. Created a contest, got it to the ground for Warburton. He couldn't control it. Charlson goes in. Ball's won by Gray. Kicks it towards half forward. That should be a free kick to Vickery, and it is. He's dragged down in the marking contest by Noah Gown.
All Gown needed to do there is just give the contest, and again, just get there, give the contest, keep the ball in the area, and don't allow your opposition to get easy exits like this.
Phillips to Billy Wilson at D50. Looking for an option. We'll go short to Vickery. And they might look to switch again. Wilson provides the run. He now needs support. This is looking really risky. Awkward one for Phillips, who's got to go down and find it. That not Carlton's best piece of play tonight. And it'll be a ball up right on 50. They're lucky to get out of that.
Yeah, you've just got to play the percentages. You don't want to be coming in back or not hitting a target and getting it short. You've just got to play the percentages. Get it outside your defensive 50 or your defensive half and reset it all again.
The size of Riley and O'Keefe in the ruck is causing some problems for Frankston.
Wilson, not the required territory, but he got around Burke nicely. Bodywork from Granger Barras. Barlow wide and a blast.
And again, Carlton in the first quarter really got after the body and sort of used the low options from time to time and then went long inside their full 50. At the moment, what the Frankston Dolphins are doing, they're going long at a half back, and the defence are able to just set up, bring the ball to the ground and just compete again.
Darby Hipwell looking ready to come off the bench. Free kick Blues, another one for Riley. Dozzy, who's dealt with by Owens, and is that a free kick to the Blues?
I think so.
It is.
Didn't need to do that at all, Owens.
And the Frankston crowd continuing to dial up the raucousness. No, is it out of bounds on the full? No, it's Dozzy's free kick from where the ball went out of bounds on the full.
Patrick Dozzy getting some advice from the hill, enough to make him smile. And that's a really good, strong grab from Harrison Coe. He's having to battle hard tonight against the likes of Riley and O'Keefe. He's been outsized, but he's working hard. Gives it off to Milne. Tyson scurries away. Again, he'll take the aggressive option up the middle. That's a good one, although Owens couldn't quite get there. Might work for Phillips. His handball went behind Charlson. Blues arrive to ensure it doesn't come out. Charlson wins it back. Was slightly taken off his handball. Lucas Campriali rolled the shoulders, got rid of the tackler, and in the end, handball goes over the line and out as Owens and Dozzy come together again. That's going to be another free kick to Dozzy.
Yeah, undisciplined there by the Bulldogs. Dozzy there just coming in again and getting the free kick. Going to be a little bit smarter than that. Again, the Dolphins just going long inside the corridor. They've got to hit target, just do a little short up and change the lanes.
Riley goes up at the front and takes the mark. Well, he's a promising youngster, 206 centimetres, the 21-year-old Flynn Riley, his second season in the system. Nudge, and he's got some real promise.
Getting big Oscar McInerney vibes about Flynn Riley, and I think he'd arguably be more advanced at the same stage. Oscar McInerney spent more time, of course, in the development league rather than the top grade with Casey in his time before being picked up.
Riley from 50. Geez, hit that well. It's just going to swing to the right-hand side and off a couple of fists and through for a minor score.
What to like. Flynn Riley with 6 hit-outs alone in the second term. Hamill distributes by hand from the goal square. Milne high down the line. It should favour Riley. He'll get 2 hands to it. But crunch from behind was Coe.
Yeah, Sampai just coming through, trying to influence himself on that contest. Just got him a little bit high.
The handball to a stationary target in O'Leary. Jones with a couple to beat. In from the side, Allison. Dozzy. Hipwell back into the action. Allison looking for space. His right boot, but not nearly enough on it. Phillips, the leading interceptor in the league, gets back and passes to Charlson.
We spoke about Carlton not having AFL listed players, but the guys that have come into this side are really keeping themselves composed at the moment in the first term and the second term.
Ethan Phillips back to Charlson. Now the hit-up option. Good kick, it needed to be. It's Ferranato. So Frankston tightening up the ground, Jono. Not this ease of ball movement from the back half that we saw from the Blues in the first quarter.
No, certainly not. But when they were getting the ball out of their defensive half, they were getting busy in the middle and turning the ball over and getting after the body. They're not doing that this quarter.
Campbell Farrell's kick in front of Barlow. Pops the handball. O'Leary generally creative. Drives inside 50, 2-on-2. Phillips sets himself. Payer got a bad bounce. Gets to the back, and George Gray can pounce and goal.
You just cannot allow that ball to get over the back. It doesn't matter at what level you're playing at. You could be playing AFL, you could be playing VFL, but even local level as well. You can't let the ball over the back. Sampai was there, just unable to kill that ball, but coming through nicely was Gray able to find out and work it out.
Here's another look on the Amy replay.
Yeah, Amy replay here, just sees the ball go over the back. They had the numbers there, Carlton. Sampai just a little fumble there, needed to come across, kill that ball, and then able to come across, was able to kick that was Gray, coming in nicely there and just off the ground. That's what the Dolphins need, just to get a little get going in this second term.
Goals 11 minutes apart for the home side. The response has presented itself. Can they make it 3 in a row? Gown into the ruck, an air swing, terrific pressure. Carlton will get an opportunity. Granger Barras flies through. After it, Barlow. Harvey after him and impacts the path of the kick. Lemires, Burke, Dozzy, back to Camporeale. Has to be short and clean. It was a good effort nonetheless, but Hamill could cut across and deny Archie Stevens. He was one of 2 ins. Both Dane Harvey and Archie Stevens were emergencies. No Jackson Binns, no Jordan Boyd from the originally selected Blues team. But they're more than holding up an end. 16 VFL listed players for the Blues. That, of course, including Tyson Gresham, younger brother of Jade, making his VFL debut tonight. Camporeale. Monahan needing a little bit more time. The Irishman's development is coming together. Averaging 10 touches a game. He's had 20 marks in the last 3 weeks.
Dozzy, almost a mark from Hogg. Ferranato off a step, won't be the required distance. Here's Monahan, leaves it behind. Burt came through, put some pressure on. Ball flipped up. O'Leary lurking, goes again. Soccer's off the ground. Clean was Charlson, putting together a good game across half-back. Ferranato goes off the ground. That's going to be in danger. It's going to come back to be a Frankston free kick as Kobe Askew grabs at the wrist. Not what you need on a chilly night in Frankston.
Certainly not, but Carlton, what we've seen them in the first quarter, they were able to land their tackles and able to find the free target and think their way when they were getting tackled through the tackle. This quarter, they're not able to do that because of the Frankston pressure has lifted in this second term.
Tane Barlow. Low and flat inside 50. Up went Monahan. Phillips at the back will take the tackle, and Ellison will oblige.
Opportunity here, the Frankston, to put one on the scoreboard here. They know that the Carlton defenders are certainly zoning off at the moment, so need to get a set play organised here.
Nice tap from O'Keefe, but it went straight to Askew, and Monahan wraps him up. Seems a strange thing to say. The Blues are 16 points up, Jono, but it feels like Carlton need a goal.
They do, and it's been, majority of this quarter, it's been all Frankston, but they've just been wasteful coming through the corridor, turning the ball over.
All the Blues are going to see that lead dissipate by half-time, because Frankston are surging here, and the Blues doing their best to hold them up. We'll have another stoppage, 35 out.
And they're just flooding the back 50 here, their defensive 50 at the moment, the Carlton. So they need to make sure that they get a goal. They haven't had a goal for a number of minutes now.
O'Leary won't be able to get free. Had one arm pinned by Ferranato. We'll do it all again.
And this is okay for Carlton. They keep getting this done and then get the exit out of this. This is a win for Carlton.
O'Keefe tried to pull it out of the ruck. Allison did. Couldn't find his boot, though. Well done, Vickery. Had a couple of options to the outside, and they can escape through Hogg. Hamill will get there first. He'll keep it alive in front of Stevens. Runs the boundary line. Will Hamill drives towards the pocket. Dangerous spot, but all Blues. And Phillips can again set up from the back. And as we see here, he's just saying, let's settle it down and be methodical with the exit. That wasn't the option.
Anything but. It was a telegraph. I'll have to blast it out. Covey, Harvey, Harvey all over Coe's back.
So Ethan Phillips said, let's be composed, and then wasn't.
Just need to be a little bit more, I guess, delicate there, Harvey. Could have just completed that ball and brought it to the ground.
It was an easy fly for O'Keefe, who was the lone gunman in defence.
That's 2 big long bombs currently now for Frankston that just turn the ball over, lower their eyes, hit a target inside 50, they get to have a shot.
It's not necessarily going to be the way out, though, for Carlton, who've done their damage more by hand tonight. Moran marks, and you got nearly every player on the ground in Frankston's half.
They've got 2 sitting back here at the moment, Carlton.
Moran gives it back. You have it. Duffy. 5 marks in the round 17 game against Casey. Now Phillips gets another chance to show us what composure looks like. Again, it was well cued, but Hogg is up to the task. What a season he is having.
Massive positive for the Blues, hasn't it?
Breakout year from Darcy Hogg. He'd have to be very high in their best and fairest. Kicks a bit shallow, but it's all right for Granger Barras. So with everyone camped high, there's got to be room out the back. And said room is Harvey. Now look at the Frankston players sprinting, trying in vain to get to Gresham. but this is in the family lineage to sneak out the back and know where the dangerous space is, Jono.
Yeah, they moved it well. There was a couple of big entries in there by Frankston, but Carlton just composed themselves, went out the far side. Hogg was involved as well, and they just brought it outside. The defence of Frankston just didn't shift across, and Tyson Gresham gets the opportunity to kick his first goal for the night.
169 centimetres, 12 goals for the Northern Knights in the Coates Talent League this season. A couple for Vic Metro in 3 showings in the National Champs. Across the face, into the hands of Harvey, who's a big factor in this game forward tonight.
Just needs to think his way through this, and that was really disappointing from the defence of the Frankston Dolphins. They didn't kill that ball.
So the first commitment is it's going to be a snap. Now he gets himself on the right line for Harvey's third. Got it. There's the goal those Blues needed. Tyson Gresham, not his best effort. Bit of breeze to blame maybe on the Amy replay, but it's still one of the more productive stats in footy if you want to kick goals, Jono. Carlton with 6 marks inside 50 tonight, Frankston with just the 1.
Yeah, that was great work there by Carlton. They shifted the ball out of the defence, and at the moment, inside forward 50s, 8-7, so they're 1 behind at the moment, and keep 1-1 to Frankston's 2 goals. That's really good work by Carlton out of their back half.
This is Ollie Warburton, 4th generation Blue. Misses with the kick though. Ramshaw lays the tackle on Owens. Will now receive it back. Does Owens. Gives it off to Campbell Farrell. Good build up here. Riley's going to run onto it, and Camporeali's going to run onto him. Ball spills. Hit well back into the game from 50. Pins the ears back for the quick response. It swung really late. It looked home just about all the way. Margin at 21. Sampaio with the kick in. 22 minutes gone. Second term, prime time Saturday night. 7 VFL from Frankston. Advantage will be paid, and away comes Tyson Gresham. Clever youngster. Nice touch kick to Ferranato. Gresham, the Carlton NGA prospect. Chance to be picked up at the end of the year. Duffy links up. Does it well with Vickery. Free kick to the Blues at half forward to Chincotta. Alex winds up. Gives it some height. O'Keefe almost brought it down. Tried to paddle it through to Phipps Parsons. And the Blues have got a good balance up forward tonight, Jono. They've got some tall targets, and they've got some very clever smalls at their feet. Yeah, well, they're playing to... They obviously watched the coaching staff go the plan to Carlton, because Frankston were going shallow entries, and now Carlton, they're going deep entries, and they're actually getting results to it. So that's going to be insufficient in 10 against Ollie Moran. And Alex Chincotta will have it 45 out on the fence.
He's got 3-6 in his VFL tenure. You don't get the sense he wants to add to that here.
And he won't.
10 possessions, 4 inside 50s on the night thus far. So Tane Barlow to try and start the chain. Coe up and over the back, lurking was Payer. Chincotta at ground level, fighting for it with Ferranato. Desperate to get it out was Lambert. Chincotta ends up with it. So Frankston have had an improved quarter, but Carlton are largely matching them. Riley's been much of the architect of that. Campbell Farrell's the latest close down in a dual tackle between Chincotta and Barter. 9 inside 50s to 8. Home side 2-1 to 1-1 in the term. It's a response, but it's a quieter one than Jackson Cornberg would like at the moment. Lambert to Moran. Wilson took his eyes off the footy, goes to it. Caresses. Fumbling backward.
Here's Duffy. Touch kick. Puts it out in front of Gresham. It's a 2-on-1. Well done, O'Leary got there first. Milne off the back foot, no space to work in. Might still work. Ramshaw tries to work his way through. Umpire says it's a throw. And an opportunity here for Tom Blamires from 45 out to bring the Dolphins a little closer.
Well, this is straight out of the Carlton play group, isn't it? Straight away, that's what they were doing in the first term, getting inside their forward 50, put the defenders under pressure. They had a number of players around to tackle, and unfortunately, not executing the handball, and it's a free kick, a shot on goal.
What a season he's having. His last month, he's had 34, 35, 30, and 44 last week. Tom Blamires to put himself on the draft radar. From 45 out, up he steps. And it was always missing left, way left. So the margin stays at 21 points, 26.5 gone, second term. As Ethan Phillips waits for the Sherrin to return from the hill.
A hard kick to describe from Phillips. Plenty to describe about Campbell Farrell's fly. Welcome back, Taj. And no thought about handing this off either. He is walking back with intent. Nice lift, largely off the back of teammate Lockie Riley. He's had a roller coaster year, Taj Campbell Farrell. Back issues early, got back to play a game at local level, then had a foot issue. He's played 3, back with Rye since. Joint Morris medalist with a current blue and Lockie Cowan a couple of years ago. Off a couple of steps, leans back on it. No problems with the range. Burke at the front. Goes way across the face. And the Sherrin's doing some funny things tonight.
Gee, got some purchase on the kick though, didn't he? Off a couple of steps, Campbell Farrell.
He knows his range.
Yeah, 55 on the fly. Wilson's kick needed to be good and was to Ollie Warburton. There's an important 3 or 4 minutes here for the Blues, Jono.
Yeah, they're letting Frankston just letting Carlton off the hook the last couple of entries. Certainly could have had a goal easy there and been able to kick their third for the quarter.
And they've looked dangerous when they get out the back. Chincotta to O'Keefe. And Robert Walls' old mandate of never handball to the ruckman. Coming up straight after the game tonight, AFL Saturday Rewind. All the highlights, news and headlines from another big day of AFL action with Nudge, Kate Massey and Jono. Riley over the top. Dozzy was the target. Comes back to Flynn Riley. Can he win it on the deck? Gown tries to escape with it. It does squirt out the back. Warburton. Wilson punches a kick down the line. It's good for Ramshaw. Good pressure from Hamill. Did just enough without infringing. Kick down the line for territory. And Payer takes the grab. So the Blues have done a good job in holding late in the term as Frankston looked to be surging midway through the quarter. And Carlton managed to hold up, and in the end they kicked 1 goal for the term. As we get set for third quarter action thanks to Brady Hotels and Apartments. Prime time Saturday night, 7 VFL from Kinetic Stadium in Frankston. Riley goes in the ruck, wins the tap. Towards half forward, Nelson runs onto the football from 55 towards the top of the square. Thundering out to meet it was Phipps Parsons. Chincotta a chance, can he gather? Surrounded, Hamill stripped, picked up by Moran. O'Leary pops a handball over the top. And away comes Milne. Chips it dangerously and Monahan has it 55 from goal. Does he wind up with the breeze at his back? Rob Monahan. He's kicked 1-2 for the season, 6-4 for his career. He winds up, gives it a ride, tugs it towards the pocket, and it's almost a mark. Nelson was ripped down off the football. It's still there. He lays the tackle. on Coe. Good pressure, Luke Nelson, and the Blues get a stoppage.
Good start here by Carlton, just getting the ball, repeat inside forward 50s, and their small forwards are getting the work again in this third term.
Blues have led this since the 14-minute mark of the opening quarter. Lloyd, Milne. Wide and out. So the fair catch for Ferronato, who had an excellent first half. 2-5 in 13 VFL games. 1-2 this season. Tonight, his 7th outing. He's split his time between the Blues and Heidelberg at Northern Football League level. Left and missing, so Frankston have really struggled to generate all that much run from behind tonight. Will Hamill, can he see a little window of opportunity out to his left to the terraces side? Instead, he'll head for the Mace grandstand. And Coe against Riley, and Coe has the better of it. It's been a good duel so far. Bit of feeling in it as well. Coe's happy to take his sweet time.
Short kick is to Moran, who now squares it to Hamill.
Got to protect the corridor here, Carlton. Just force them a little bit wide.
Hipwell. Now they want to try and generate some run from the back. It's a good kick to Askew. Arriving late was Charlson. Patient build up here from the Dolphins. Now Askew sees some space inside 50. Delivers inside. And there's a push. It's going to be a free kick. It's going Frankston's way. It's going to Noah Gown.
Sampai there just lost track of the football and just got in the back of his opponent here in Gow. Just need to be a little bit mindful of that and just can't give up when you've been so good for the majority of the game. You can't give up an easy shot like this.
The grandson of the great Ray Biffin. Noah Gown with a chance to make it a 15-point game as the Dolphins start to edge closer. Such an important 4 points up for grabs for them as they fight for the double chance. As I mentioned, the Blues fighting really for final survival. Gown, 40 out, makes good contact and steers it through. He's got 2. Brady Hotels and Apartments replay. Sam Payne is getting into the back of Noah Gown, and he's good enough to go back and slot it.
Yeah, look, Gown, he's kicked the 2 goals, kicked 1 in the second, 1 in the third, which takes him out to 29 goals for the season. He's been an outstanding contributor to this Frankston Dolphin team. They need to go through him a little bit more.
And goals in 13 of his 16 VFL games this season to the wing. From the back comes Barter. Over the top of him, McComb. And the Frankston fans and 23 players are sensing an opportunity to make a run. Well done, Ramshaw. Run from the back was Warburton. Over the back. Free kick to the Blues. If it is, they'll be off. No, home side and Barlow. He's had a good and maybe in some respects unobtrusive season in defence. He's equal 4 in the VFL for intercept possessions this year. He's been working well in tandem with the likes of Joe Lloyd. Of course, no Jackson Voss in defence tonight. Coe works his way to the front on Riley. Almost got it. Hipwell, askew. No look from Lambert. O'Leary stays in just. They'll keep it alive. Askew with the dancing feet. Back to O'Leary. The Blues compress. Oh, Barter terrific, despite the best efforts of Askew. And away go Carlton. Wilson to Ferronato. And on the hit up, Granger Barras. Carlton have always had the answers tonight. Deep to the square, Phipps, Parsons and Milne. No free kick, but the best possible result outside of major for the visitors.
Good defensive work there by Milne. He was certainly out of it, just able to lock down Fitzpatrick there and able to just to make sure that he wasn't able to come up and get his hands to it and bring the ball to the ground because they had guys arriving for front and square.
Margin sits at 15. Here's O'Keefe out of the ruck. Got a clean look, but hit the outside of his boot. Missed the lot.
He's been good tonight.
Missed a fair bit of footy this year, Hudson O'Keefe. 4 weeks with a hamstring after missing the first couple with a hammy. Smith. Payer in the middle of that pack. Jones came over the top. It spills to Vickery. High kick. They'll compete. There's O'Keefe. And then turns tackler on Joe Lloyd.
The thing I've liked about O'Keefe, he's just been competing. He's been bringing the ball to ground, bring it to the front spot for his small forwards.
And they can come away here through Blamires. Off to George Gray and Frankston escape. Good kick. Suits Noah Gown, who's starting to look dangerous. Frankston in general are starting to look dangerous. They're eating into this lead. They trail by 27 at quarter time. It's back to 15. Gown squares it. Can Dozzy get there? He cannot. Milne has it. And a chance here for Frankston to build from the middle.
Milne runs, everything on offer. Riley gets back, couldn't complete the grab. Tangle with Ellison. Frankston will get another look. Corey Ellison, 18 goals in his past 3. Without a major tonight. Can he get busy? Burke gave it up. Riley thumped it clear, but only as far as O'Leary, who was frenetic. Burke lifts the head. The sandwiched and lifted by Wilson and Duffy. Burke with a couple of goals last Saturday night. Another fist from Riley. Clearing ball and a tangle of feet involved Charleston. Smith back with the flight. He's tangled with, and Harvey is off and gone. He can share it to the smaller Phipps Parsons, who'll kick to grass. Where's the run? Milne just back first. O'Keefe after him. Good tackle from the big man to bring it to ground. Oh, Milne has to be careful.
Oh.
The knock into the chest of O'Keefe will reverse the free.
Yeah, no need for that from Milne. He'd done such a great job in getting back. Didn't need to do that at all. And got him right where it doesn't tickle, Jace.
A brain fade from one of Frankston's most experienced players.
Right in the solar plexus,
Oh,
John.
you don't like him there. It takes at least another 5 minutes to make sure that you're pretty good and back to the way you were before you got that hit.
And what would have been a Frankston ball and a 16-point margin now could be quite the swing, but it's a tricky kick for Hudson O'Keefe. The big man is very much on the rise.
Let's have a look on the Brady Hotel and Apartments replay. A punch or an open hand? Palm of the hand by the looks.
Regardless of clenched fist or open hand, it's just unnecessary.
It's a little Mr. Miyagi type, Karate Kid type action there in the solar plexus where you just don't like it there. And his body had nowhere to go because he was on the ground and just Milne. No need for that. He'd won the free kick, but great work there by O'Keefe.
Dozzy can't escape the tackler. Over the shoulder free kick is going Frankston's way to Gown. So margin back at 21 points. His next goal suddenly feels really important. Kick inside 50 over the head of Phillips. Bailey Lambert at the back and he draws a free kick.
Smart, knew where the contact was coming and kept his head over the ball and just turned his body around and drawn the free kick nicely. Umpire in perfect position.
Ethan Phillips comes over to Rob Monaghan and says, hey, don't worry about it, just refocus. Heads up play, so to speak, by Bailey Lambert. Gets himself an opportunity. Kick his 5th of the season. The quick response for Frankston as they look to hang in here. Fighting for top 4. Lambert, who spent some time with the Blues last year. 40 out directly in front. Well, that is the ugliest 6-pointer you'll ever see, but a 6-pointer nonetheless. I think he's hit that off the toe, Jono. That could have gone anywhere, and somehow it went straight.
Well, what we do know, the Lamberts aren't really great kicks. We know his father wasn't a great kick either, and we know that Lambie here needs to work on that area of his game.
Here's the free kick once again on the Brady Hotels and Apartments replay. And the kick, Jono, this come off the toe?
It looked like it came off the knee the way it went through. Unlike his old man wasn't a great kick, and that's something that he needs to work on. Speaking to the father as well, that he needs to talk about. He was talking about that's probably one area in the game that isn't great for Bailey.
So margin at 15. Gown looking for some leverage off O'Keefe. Burke from the wing to Blamires, dealt with as he kicked by Ramshaw. Second layer through was Johnson, went to ground, but it spits back out to him. O'Leary repurposes himself to that contest. Jones got a horror bounce. It might work for Hipwell. Scooping is Phillips. Handball comes out. Dozzy to Wilson. Shapes it back around, but will give it back. And Noah Gown. Mobile ruck, who's then giving them that extra midfielder. And he's having some involvement. Mark and defence to O'Keefe.
The last couple of minutes or so, you see Frankston being first to the ball, which is a great sign for them coming into this second half.
Burke can steady, chip, and in from behind. With a sizable grab is Bailey Lambert, who can try and kick 2 straight goals, Jono.
Yeah, let's hope this one comes off his foot and not his knee. He was outstanding. He drew the free kick, but there he just leaped up. But again, the Frankston Dolphins, they've been first to the ball. He's gone up forward. He's leapt for that ball, taken it at the highest point. Now has an opportunity to kick his second goal of the quarter within 30 seconds or almost a minute. 4th
game back from an ankle injury that kept him at bay since round 4 of the VFL season. 5-3 for the season, 45-30 in his VFL tenure that stretches 46 games. A better kick, a worse result.
The footy gods have just said, yeah, all right, we'll call it even at 1-1. So it's a 14-point game. Right now it's feeling like Frankston are going to surge their way past the Blues here. We'll check in on the conditions with Mako in a moment. Carlton need a goal. They trail by 14. Good pressure there. Mako, tell us about the conditions. In the opening half, it was blowing to the right of screen. What's the wind doing now?
It is. It's still similar. There's still 2 to 3 goals, which Carlton are kicking with. So if Frankston can just hang on, stay in touch, a couple of goals down now, but if they can just hang on, they'll have that breeze in that last turn. The crowd's starting to get that bit of anxiety. You can feel the tension. Such an important game. They win this game, they lock in a spot in the top 10.
Corey Allison has it up against the boundary line and a chance to make it an 8-point game. It's been all Frankston really from midway through the second term. The Blues managed to hold them up late, but all the momentum's been with Frankston for the best part of the last quarter.
Yeah, well, Carlton are just dump kicking the ball now, and Frankston are just being first to the ball, getting their hands on it first.
Allison to shape it beautifully.
Well, they're winning the inside forward 50s by 1 at the moment, Frankston, 7-6. But unlike the first term where they just got dominated inside forward 50 for Carlton, were able to get it in there. This quarter here, they're able to get it long and deep and using it quite well and making sure that they've kicked goal. They've kicked 3-1 to 1 goal.
Some nice camera work on the Brady Hotels and Apartments replay. Dozzy the clearance. Carlton need a steadier. Can Barter respond? Inboard for Hogg. Where's heavy fire from Moran? It was high fire! Or at least that's the umpire's call. Granger, Barras and Gray go at it nose to nose. Darcy Hogg, who kicked 2 goals to this end of the ground, 2 of Carlton's first 3 of the night, can kick his 3rd and provide said steadier.
Not too sure whether that was a free kick. Well, I don't think it was, to be honest. I thought it was 2 players going hard at the ball, competing at the ball. Unfortunately, after the contact, Hogg went down, hit his head on the ground. So umpire probably not in the best position to award that free kick, but Carlton got a set shot. For
a career best 3 at VFL level. And what a time to come up with a triple. No.
Footy gods.
9-point game. Approaching time on 3rd term. Tension building here. It's been bubbling and simmering just beneath the surface most of the night. High stakes for both these teams. The kick from Hamill misses. Dozzy, can he make him pay? Ricochets off Gray. George goes and picks up the football. He gets wrapped up by Hogg. And the Blues get a stoppage. As Nudge mentioned, they desperately need a goal.
Well, this is what they've done in the first term, keeping the ball inside their forward 50, forcing the Dolphins' defence to make errors.
They've got the breeze in this term, Carlton. They have to make their move. Ferranato can't get the angle right. That's a minor score. 10-point game. So right now, it's delicately poised. If the Blues can come up with another and get 3 or 4 in front, and Frankston have it in the last term, they would feel like they're a chance of hanging on. If Frankston can close this gap further, they'll be in the box seat come the final term.
Coe doing his best. Fans it out to Matt Nelson against brother Luke tonight, and right now, like the scarves of the parents, the result is split. Free kick to Jones, who doesn't need much supply to do some damage. Pokes it to Moran, who can go. And goes high. Riley's tracking back. Allison in between. Had enough separation on Phillips. And Riley, maybe for the first time in his life, was a metre short.
Yeah, just needed to push back a little bit harder there. Used his body well here. Put the hands out. Not really in the back, but he's in the back. Umpires aren't paying them at the moment, but used the rule to very to his advantage, and now he's able to have a shot on goal.
He was on the right side of the protect or create space divide. Corey Allison, as you mentioned, Jono, using the rule. So Allison for 2 in 4 minutes. 1-1 now for Corey, the VFL representative. Margin sits at 9. There's still a bit left in this term. 3 goals to 1, the tail of the tape so far.
Sampaio will have the kick in as Blake O'Leary joins us on the boundary line. Blake, thanks so much for your time. This game's pretty delicately balanced.
Yeah, the pressure's definitely come up a fair bit, so we're just going to bring our heat and hopefully we can get it back on our terms.
What have you got right in the quarter so far, Blake?
That goal of
I feel like just driving with a bit of speed going forward. We're just getting it forward. Derby, the mids are starting to get on top, so we've just got to keep that pressure and that drive going forward, and hopefully we can get onto a few more.
And Blake, it probably was known in the first half that you were second to the ball, but certainly in the last 10 minutes, you have been first to the ball, winning the clearances.
Yeah, big focus for us at the breaks is just to really get back onto our game and just start getting hands onto it first, and then the rest will look after itself.
Blake, we appreciate your time. We'll let you get back into it.
Cheers, mate.
thanks to Blake O'Leary, and the margin is back to 3 points.
And the man we just spoke to, who's been a bit of a driver of it, he's had a team-high 5 possessions for the quarter and has been really in and out of it, the sort of contest at ground level.
So Frankston have not been this close since the early stages of the opening term. It's a 3-point game with so much on the line. The Dolphins have all the momentum. Gray out of the middle towards half forward. Bounces off the chest of Lambert, who's been busy in this term. Riley went down, picked up the football, but was immediately tackled by Lambert and Askew. Questions being asked now of the Blues. This has felt inevitable for the last quarter or so of football. Frankston have been steadily chipping away. Charlson over the back. Hogg slipped away from Hamill. Chincotta tries to crash through. Back to Hogg was good football. Now to Ramshaw. Searching kick. One-on-one. Phipps Parsons at the back. It gets over the back and Barlow's first back onto it. Uses the support. Look out, Lloyd. Just got the kick away and finds Matt Nelson.
How about the hands of Darcy Hogg in the midfield? Get another look at that if we get the chance in slower speed. Duffy wants to try and fly, misses it and collapses on the pack. Free kick to the home team. Jones has been creeping a little bit higher up the ground. He showed plenty of that. Phipps Parsons awake to it. Good heads-up play. Off to Hogg, lost the footing. Bounce back up, taken back down. No free kick to Jones, though.
Again, the defence of the Dolphins just making incorrect disposal of the ball. They've got to be better than that. They can't allow Carlton to keep it inside their forward half.
Coe gets the free against Riley. Coe handballs to a stationary Bill Myers, who had to contort his foot and leg to get it to Owens. There should be a player coming off the bench for Owens. There was, and he missed Riley. And in between he and Burke was Charlson, who's played a really composed game in defence for the Blues tonight.
Carlton find the steadier they're looking for. Into the breeze in this term. It's been 4-1 Frankston's way. Kick down the line. And the Blues will get a free kick. It's going to Flynn Riley. His kick just a little big for Barter. Barlow kept it alive. Nelson gives the handball. Myers, Owens, Riley. Through traffic, Gray. High to the wing. Set up behind the footballers, Phillips. Ball hits the deck. Payer. Work to the line. And Frankston, irresistible at the moment. Carlton needing to dig in for the fight.
Well, Frankston are winning the uncontested ball and the contested ball. Uncontested possessions, 25-18 in Frankston's favour, and the uncontested possessions, 35-20.
Terrace is dialing up the volume. Gray will take his medicine off Charlson, and Noah Gown with a little hand in on that previous aerial contest. He's had a sneaky good quarter, better than the 4 touches and a goal will tell you. Dozzy taken in, comes out to Ferranato. The tackle lingered from Owens. Hogg flying from the back. Vickery skies the kick. Barlow won't impact. Granger Barras now with 2 to beat. Barlow flicked it overhead. Lloyd, a casual Smith, too casual perhaps. Warburton, Granger Barras missed the target of Luke Nelson, who turns tackler on Hipwell.
Going forward, Carlton just not able to win the one-on-one contest. Outnumber it on a number of times, but if they can get a one-on-one contest and win that, they'll get a shot on goal.
A goal either way impacts the complexion of this game significantly before three-quarter time. Can Carlton give themselves some sort of buffer to defend, or will Frankston actually turn for home with the lead and the breeze? Ferranato's handball was in hope. Barlow there to tidy it up. McComb to the middle of the ground. Phillips set up behind the football, off to Duffy. Duffy, little chip kick is good to half forward. Hogg's been so creative across half forward for Carlton. Now can he find a target inside 50? Launches it high. Almost O'Keefe. Here's Barter, clever, snaps and finds the goal the Blues were looking for.
Well, the one thing there good from Barter, he presented to Hodge. He tried to lead out to the right pocket, then seen that Hogg was going out wide, and he was able to work from about 50 metres away to get front and square, and that's where the small forward should be. If they know where it's going, be front and square, get the ball forward, and then have a shot on goal.
It's 11 inside 50s to 9 in the quarter in favour of the Blues, despite the fact Frankston 4-2 to Carlton's 2-2. Barter 2, Hogg 2, Harvey 3, with 7 of the Blues, 9 goals so far. Barter goes to the grass. Ferronato was Blamires pushed out. That's the case. th touch of the night coming up for Blamires. Not quite the 44 of last Saturday, nor the impact.
Carlton have got to try and get this ball inside their forward 50 before this quarter's out and get a shot on goal, because there's not much time left and they look dangerous when they get it inside their forward 50.
Payer having his second game as a Blue at VFL level, does get it to the 50. Ferronato flicked the head back and then the leg forward. Ground ball win was crucial from Lambert. McComb barging through Campbell Farrell. Support from the back, Blamires. Wilson tries to cut the angle. Gray marks. Watts in front of him. Burke out the back. Gown, can he grab a second? O'Leary in support. Dribbles it home. That's big. That's real big. Momentum comes back the way of the home team right on the eve of three-quarter time.
Well, just on the replay here coming forward, the spoil needed to come boundary side, not in corridor, and they just kept rocking up and showing up here. The Dolphins worked it off half back, brought it in the middle of the corridor, and then sent it long. As a defender, what you need to do is you're coming back with the flight of the ball, try and kill it, but not inside the corridor.
Critical goal against the flow for the Dolphins, brings them back to within 3 points and gives them the advantage, given they've got the breeze in the last term. Blues need to try and find that goal back. It's almost 30 minutes gone. Out of the middle, Ramshaw's been enormous. Camporelli wants his left side. Kicks it inside 50. O'Keefe the best chance. Moran came across the front. Can Hamill escape? Got the handball to Barlow. That was picked off. Here's Hogg. Chincotta coming the other direction. Good little give. Quick snap from Nelson. Milne takes the grab down low and can hang on in the last line. Kicked it, Blamires, no favours. He pokes to defensive 50. O'Leary stands underneath it. What a quarter he's played.
That was courage. Didn't know what was coming the other way. Ball was high. No player wants to be in that scenario.
Good use to Gray. He turns to look at the bench and say, how much time we got? We got time to set up for one more? They said, yep. Take your time, set it up. Because Frankston could hit the front before three-quarter time. He kicks to half forward. It'll get over the back. There's a free kick and it's going Frankston's way. It's going to Gown, who could go the distance from outside 50.
Just panicked there, Carlton defenders. They had 3 or 4 players there. Just panicked. Thought he was going to mark it in Gowan. And they just pushed him in the back as we watch it here on the replay.
4-on-1.
He just got taken out of it late by Ethan Phillips. Didn't need to do it, had the numbers there at ground level as well.
So Noah Gown to kick for his third. This to give Frankston the lead right on three-quarter time. They haven't led all night. He runs out from 52. He launches. It's swinging right. And at three-quarter time, the Blues have their noses in front, but just What a final term, thanks to Chemist Warehouse. The Dolphins with a chance to jump up into the top 4. Carlton fighting for their season. They need everything to go right if they're to make it, and that starts in the next half an hour. We'll have yet another restart in the middle of the ground. Blues by 3 points. Nigel Carmody, Chris Johnson, Andrew McCormack, boundary side. Primetime Saturday night footy.
And all to play for, and a lot of it will rest on that duel. Riley v Co, clearance Blues, Phipps Parsons. There's the tackle from Lloyd.
That's a response Luke Powell would have liked. Clearance inside their forward 50. Their small forwards not let that out so easy.
Co with an expansive tap, Chincotta. Taking it out, Gray. Spiral, spare back is Phillips, as is so often been the case in his 92 VFL games. Wide for Charleston. Macca asking a good pointed question of Luke Power out of the huddle. Nice to see. Pick 9 in last year's rookie draft. Maybe get his look at AFL duties in Carlton's run home.
Harrison Coe has battled hard all night. Concedes a bit of ground. Gets it into the hands of Joe Lloyd. He now looks to change angles to Barlow. Carlton will move their zone across. Barlow wants someone to just come into the hole for him. He does. It's a good kick. Finds Lockie Riley.
That's what didn't work for him in the second term.
Off to the runner, Hamill. He provides some dash from the back. Well done, Gresham. Just got his hand in there, and that could create the turnover. Duffy got it to Charleston. Gresham slipped the tackle. Camporeale to Payer. He's got it at half-back. Wilson sets up laterally. Payer instead will go to the grandstand side and was just on a different page with his teammates, and Owens able to pick that off. Gresham gets the shepherd off from Coe. Kick from Owens is deep inside 50. Ellison in the air, on the ground, snaps goalward. Dolphins lead.
Well, great work. They've sent the ball long, but the best thing there that I liked about Ellison was he was in the contest, and then he was able to follow up again. Good goal sense. That's his second goal for the game. He's kicked one in the third and one in the last.
Blues had enjoyed the lead for 2.5 quarters. It's no longer theirs. Owens to Gray for 2 and a minute. Chris Johnson, George Gray at the front of the stoppage on the Chemist Warehouse replay. He's second of the night. Frankston extend the lead. You played in an amazing footy team. The trust that must be in this group that's built over time. They went in at halftime down. Have you seen it manifest in the second half, the belief and the trust that exists in this club? Yeah,
it certainly has. They've been able to get first to the ball, which I've spoken about in the last 2 quarters, in the second and the third, but it's the trust within each other now. That the coach wasn't too harsh on them, which they spoke about. He was very calm in a way, getting back to their process, and that's what it is. It's about process and trust. When you've got such a great team around you and great teammates, that's what it all comes back to.
Blues need the next one, so that elastic band doesn't start to stretch. 9 points is the margin in the blink of an eye. Hipwell, Coe, Gray, and again they get it to the outside. Frankston, it's all Dolphins right now. Milne's kick towards half forward. Payer got the punch away. Wilson at the back, gave it off. Duffy, back to Wilson. Steps around Johnson. Kick down the line to the wing. Can Riley get there? He can't. Lloyd was slapped away. Mark Pade, kick inside. Aggressive. Through comes big Josh Smith. Gives it off to Gray. Gray goes straight up the middle. Marking options there. Allison couldn't take it. Riley takes out his own man. Play on the call. Well done, Payer. It was strong. Straight lined it. Hogg. Charlson off the back foot. Medico's making their way down to the fallen Dolphin. Now some friendly fire for the Blues as Harvey went down. Joe Lloyd with the party trick. Picked up by Hipwell. Short kick, not the required journey. Gray goes long. Payer in best position is taken out surely by Gown. And that's a free kick to Sam Payer. It was a bit agricultural from Noah. And Ethan Phillips calls for the Medicos straight away.
Bailey Lambert was the player in the head contact with Riley. Here's the free kick for Payer.
Player vulnerable there, Jono, when he's got his hands in the air like that.
Yeah, you can't. When a player leaves the ground with both feet and they're both feet up in the ground, you cannot be able to make any front-on contact. I thought that was almost going to be a 50 metres as well, because after he'd made the contact, he got the ball, went on with it. Everyone knows that that's a free kick. Even he would have known, and he went on and kicked the goal.
Werribee premiership player clears for Granger Barras. They need his involvement big time here, the Blues. He fights for it at ground level with Smith happy to play the roof.
But for Sam Payer there, just the courage that he knew the contact was coming. He had to sit underneath the ball.
O'Keefe versus Coe. It's been excellent early in the last quarter to set the tone for the Dolphins, who trailed by 27 points at quarter time. Barlow somehow avoids it from being a half volley. Off to Moran, who will slide deep. Johnson, Gown, free kick. It's going to come back to Noah Gown, who'll try and kick his third of the night.
I thought he was interrupted with his hands were chopped or a little bit high. Wait till we see the replay, but certainly at the moment, Frankston Dolphins are getting the ball deeper inside their forward 50. They're not going so short anymore where they were for the entire of the game. Now they're going long and direct to their key targets.
At his fourth VFL club, you feel like he's found his football home at Carr Street. Noah Gown to kick three for the third time this season.
Ten-point game. Can the Blues find a spark here? Frankston have been hunting them since quarter time, chipping away at the lead that was 27 points. Now it's 10 points in favour of the Dolphins as Charlson goes towards the wing. Granger Barras there, arriving just in time was O'Keefe. Ball spills out. Coe wins the football, farms it out with great hands. Gray, quick kick inside 50. Phillips had to stand underneath it. The contact was coming. O'Leary couldn't control it. Cincotta tidy to the outside. Charlson clean once again. Cincotta brushes a tackle, beats the second one. Lovely step there from Vickery to sidestep his way through the pack. Barter versus Moran. Moran keeps it alive, does he? No. Throw in front of the benches, and the vocal Frankston crowd who have loved the grit and resilience their side has shown tonight.
They've done well. Since the first term, they haven't looked like they've been getting the hands on the ball and working together as a team. But certainly in their second half, they've connected together.
Riley taken down, might have been taken high. Ball up as we hit the 9-minute mark of the final term.
Unlucky for Carlton at the moment. We've been going almost over 10 or up to 10 minutes, and they've only had one inside forward 50 versus 6. So it's been all Frankston in his first 10 minutes.
Barter tackled immediately by Burke, who wanted the free. Blues kept playing it. Dozzy, Cincotta, Luke Nelson. Might be on the wrong side of the result against Little Bro. Patrick Dozzy's battled hard tonight for the Blues. Carlton's Wild card chances resting on the next 20 minutes of footy. Slap between Coe and O'Keefe. Chincotta outpointed by Blamires. Flung it up to O'Leary, who was big in the third. Triangle tackle stops him in his tracks.
He's got some X factor, doesn't he, Blake O'Leary? O'Keefe, the tap, is looking for Ramshaw, who lays the tackle on Blamires. Blamires got Chincotta for company. O'Keefe, nice tap. Ramshaw somehow managed to squeeze it through some traffic. And Milne slaps it to the line. Can Carlton find a goal that's going to give them a little bit of spark and keep them within a kick? Coming up straight after this one, AFL Saturday Rewind. All the best highlights, news and analysis from a big day of AFL action. Gown and O'Keefe, O'Leary, Chincotta. Coming in was Monaghan.
If Carlton are any chance of winning this game and getting the next scores, that they need to win the ball inside the contest. They need to win the contested ball inside these centre or these clearances around the ground.
Dozzy won't let Myers escape.
Because that's what they did, Jace. They'd done that in the first half, and they were
finding
good.
the exits, weren't they, early on?
They were, and their tackling pressure. When they were second to the ball, their ability to tackle the Dolphins, and that's what they need to do to get back in it.
There it is, Farinado to Barter, but Milne arrived just in time. Turns into another scramble. Wilson was clean at the back. Kick towards the pocket. It's going to pitch in front of Granger, Barrass, Moran, Phipps-Parsons, Nelson. Was it out of bounds? It's going to come back because Matt's just kicked it to his brother Luke.
Important entry here for Carlton. Got to make sure that's going to the goal front.
Nelson rolls. Frankston are in front. Moran, Gown, they both miss it. Harvey been quiet since a good first half. One out by Lambert. Payer against Riley, pushed to the deck. Allison looking to free a leg. Given every opportunity, according to the umpire. No. Phillips free kick. Confusion reigns. It is the right free kick. Looked to be in the first place. Phillips with the lane change. Charleston's got runners. Wilson one of them. Overlap. Vickery. Camporeale careful for Phipps-Parsons. And the moment arrives for Sterling to bring it back to 4 points. After Frankston have had 6 inside 50s to 4 in the term to date.
And that's where they've been smarter, Carlton, for a majority of the game, going inside their forward 50 and hitting the target that has been presenting at them. And that was smart there by Camporeale.
7-8 in his VFL tenure that extends to 8 games tonight. The 22-year-old who plays his local footy in the amateurs with Old Zaverians. With a chorus to deal with. Last line defence from Frankston. Margin at single digits.
Hamill with a kick in. Short to Milne. Brings it down the boundary line. Gets it over the top of the contest. Coming through at the back was Payer, did it well. Lucas Camporeale, Phipps-Parsons, Harvey floats back almost off his chest. Hamill needs to be precise and is perfect for Lockie Riley, and that could open things up. O'Leary off to Bailey Lambert. He pokes it to the wing. Kick had a bit much on it from McComb. Good body work there from Allison. Phillips beat him to the football. Now to Warburton. What's happened here? Free kick downfield. Way downfield. It must be Carlton's way.
It's going to come inside forward 50, Jace.
And it's going to Granger Barrass. Well, he and Josh Smith have been at each other all night. So something's clearly happened off the football. The non-officiating umpire spotted it. And this is a huge moment. Carlton haven't looked like kicking a goal. And Denver Granger Barrass can go back and kick his second for the evening, make it a 3-point game. As we approach the 15-minute mark of the final term. Josh Smith on the mark is furious. Granger Barrass, 40 out. Kick on its way. is good. And he gives it to Josh Smith. Those two hate each other's guts. They've been at it all night.
They haven't stopped. They've been like a cat and dog.
Denver Granger Barras on the Chemist Warehouse replay. Gave it to Josh Smith. Those two have been at it from the start, Jono.
They certainly have, from the first term right through to now, and certainly Denver Granger Barras wasn't happy with what happened off the ball. Really gave him a mouthful after he went back and kicked it.
Change up with Lloyd on Granger Barras. Ball wide for Gray against Dozzy.
A moment like that can just change the momentum in a game.
You can.
Blues have now got some belief and inspiration.
We had the Smith free kick there, the Milne free kick against O'Keefe in the third quarter. They've gifted at least two, the Dolphins, to their visitors. Co-defensive side was Camporeale. Flyer, Barlow. Catch and release. Off go the Dolphins. Phillips. Immediately to Charlson. The Blues in go mode. Hogg had enough of it. Not paid. Riley askew. Off the side of the boot for Allison. The body spoil from Phillips. Allison recovers. Steadies. Misses.
Almost a costly miscommunication between the two Carlton defenders, Jono.
It certainly was. You've got to make sure that you're communicating and know what's going for each other, because those sorts of indecisions can actually cost you a game, and we've seen it from the Dolphins in this game, and it hasn't cost them the game just yet, but certainly from a defensive point of view.
Charlson's kick cutting through was Dozzy. Phipps Parsons, Nelson to half forward. 2-on-1. Milne can take the uncontested grab. Lloyd did a great job. In fact, he's blocked. So I was about to say Lloyd did a great job engaging Granger Barras. And might be 50. Has Milne given the chirp? He has. It was a 2-on-1. Lloyd engaged Granger Barras to allow Milne to take the mark. Umpire said illegally. Here's another look. That's been called a block. What did you make of it firstly, Jono?
Yeah, he just went straight back and almost shepherded him out, put his arms out. Didn't have his eyes for the ball at all. And then the undisciplined act of then back-chatting the umpire to get the 50. We've seen a lot of undisciplined acts by the Dolphins tonight creeping into this side.
Wow, Denver Granger Barras, 2 free kicks to put the Blues back in front at the 18-minute mark of the final term. This game has been swinging all night, and it swings again. The Blues are in front. Frankston fans not happy. Here's the Chemist Warehouse replays. Denver Barras puts the Blues in front. Jono, what can and can't you get away with in terms of the block? Where did it go wrong for Joe Lloyd?
Well, when he put his arms out and didn't allow the opposition to run and jump at the ball, that's what he did. You can use your bodies, but he put his arms back and didn't allow his opponent to actually run and jump at the ball. Umpire in perfect position to award that free kick.
Fourth lead change of the night. McComb. Burke. Will the Blues lead be short-lived? Nick Burke, his 56th match tonight. 3 in round 5 against Coburg, 2 in round 13 against the Lions. He's kicked 19-24 in his VFL career, 7-5 though this season. As we enter time on. Frankston with the first two of the last to take the lead. Allison 2 minutes in. Gray, his second of the night, 3 minutes in. Granger Barras with his second and third of the night. The 15 and 18 minute marks. Gown out of the ruck.
Well, this has been a thoroughly entertaining game from the outset. And we are in for a great finish. It is a 1-point game. Wilson has the kick in, and it's touched off his boot. Here's an opportunity for the Dolphins. Jones, but he's handballed to Chincotta. Warburton, Nelson, high towards the wing. Going back with courage is Hamill. Did really well and earns a free kick, and that's Granger Barras, and Frankston are happy to get into him.
Yeah, certainly are, but that was courage there. Absolute courage.
Hamill went to play on quickly. Granger Barras, he throws himself in at Milne. He was the one who laid the smother. Hamill gets it again. Tackle came from Hogg. It affected the kick.
And we spoke to Luke Power at the three-quarter time break, and he talked about how proud his boys were, this team, Carlton team were, and this is what they're playing. They're playing like a proud outfit at the moment.
Vickery run down. Strong tackle from Jones. Harrison Jones has it. He's side down by a point. Kobe Askew, centre wing. Blues have numbers back, as you can see. Can he get it over the top of that wall? He's going to try. Doesn't hit the kick at all well. Wilson couldn't bring it down. Good hands from Phillips, although it was smothered off the boot of Blamires. Chincotta went high. Just slipped over the shoulder of Hipwell. And Darby Hipwell a chance to tie things up or put the Dolphins back in front.
What we've seen a lot of guys have a shot from this side of the ground, this left forward pocket, and they've hugged it to the left. So he's got to make sure that he hugs it out to the right, and the wing will bring this ball back in for the skipper.
So inside right post for Darby Hipwell to put the Dollies back in front. The former Sandringham captain from 51 out. No problem to the line in terms of accuracy, but just didn't quite have the legs.
And the draw is about to have some smoke coming out of the live ladder. Payer with the one wood. Coe to ground for Hogg. Got the kick away from the Blamires tackle. Moran, tricky bounce. There's speed in the legs of Hamill. Low down, push from Johnson. Wins the ground ball. Kick to grass. Skittles Allison, sweeping through Askew. Down for three, and the lead. Ball movement, very likeable on the Chemist Warehouse replay, Jono. 12 touches and 3-2 doesn't really capture Noah Gown's presence in this game tonight.
No, it doesn't. Didn't have a great first quarter, but certainly his last three quarters, the second, third and fourth, have been outstanding. I thought he was the one that lifted them in the third term. He was outstanding, and a great work there for him to go through and kick his third.
So Frankston back up into the top four on the back of that goal. They are dead level on points and percentage with Brisbane. And what a pickup that was from Kobe Askew to set up the goal for Gown. Absolutely brilliant. Hipwell and Charlson. Hipwell keeps it alive. Lambert moves it forward. Monahan needs support. You got to give it, Rob. He's gone.
He's looking at the umpire saying, no, it's not holding the ball. Unfortunately, when you get slung around 360 and you've got an opportunity to handball, it is holding the ball.
So that man again, Kobe Askew, having a couple of great moments. That last pick up and give to Gown was elite. Now the tackle that can set it up inside 50. He drills it low to the pocket. The lead from Ellison. Through his hands for a throw in. Blues needed at the other end of the ground as we hit the 25-minute mark. So much footy coming up tomorrow on 7. Geelong and Port Adelaide down at GMHBA Stadium. Looking forward to that one. The feast first, then the wash up to finish. O'Keefe and Gown. Gray slaps it on. Ramshaw still there, top of the square. Johnson. Ball up, and Frankston have it at the right end of the ground. They lead by a straight kick, and they are in the top 4 as we speak.
Hunting a 6th straight win. Camporeale, Paya, the Blues cannot concede. Chance to set up defensively. Alec McComb heading back, or maybe even rotating. Look how high Tyson Milne's here. Gown with strength against O'Keefe. Goes after it. Alex Cincotta with 17 possessions tonight and 11 tackles for the Blues. Ferronato with a team-high 25. O'Keefe in a tangle with Gown. Wilson flicked it out. Monahan clearing ball. Phipps, Parsons and Moran. Moran had the front spot, the right of way, and most importantly, the mark. And Ollie Moran has got enough of a leg on him to score, which would be a good result. 1-2 in his VFL career, game 27 tonight, without a major in 16 matches this season. Can the 21-year-old from Cheltenham produce a moment?
Jeez.
Yes, he can!
Well, in 2023, Ollie Moran, when he was playing for Cheltenham, kicked the match winner in the final term. They came from 25 points down to win their first flag in 89 years. That his second VFL goal of his career. John Owen, was a beauty.
Yeah, it was. He knew what he needed to do. He told his players once he marked the ball what he was going to do. And there's nothing better than hitting the ball sweet outside 50 and it going through a post height of those goalposts.
Blues have just got to go. O'Leary towards half forward. Maybe a time for another. Lambert inside 50. Phillips spoils it away from Gown. Charleston works hard to get there. Here's a chance for Burke. Could square it up. Oh, the one man in the middle did brilliantly. It was Lucas Camporeale. Needs someone down the ground to offer. Barter. Kick off balance. Granger Barras. Arriving Moran. He's inspired. Hamill's handball inside. Coe. Gray spins away from the tackle. Quick kick inside 50. 2-on-1. And Lambert will have it. Wilson wanted the block. And really, Bailey Lambert from 52, any score will do.
This will take his best kick from here. He'll kick it from about 55, but you would think that he'll tell the umpire he's going to have a shot, but you'd think that he'll put it to the top of the square to give some of his key forwards an opportunity to mark it or bring it to ground, and then he scrummers to come in to get front and square.
Frankston chasing 6 in a row for the first time since 2006. Bailey Lambert to make it a 3-score game from 51. Right to the line. Burke stripped of it. Goes again, Nick Burke. Gets boot to ball. Bends it goalward and wins the game for Frankston.
Well, they've dominated the inside forward 50s for this quarter, Frankston, 16-7. So if you think about that, they've been able to kick 5-1 from it, but outstanding there by Frankston by just keeping it in. And the last inside forward 50s there, they've just dominated this last 5 minutes.
16-7 final quarter. It has been the Avalanche anticipated. Cincotta ran with the footy and hit well. Owens. Blamire's got it to hit well. And the Frankston chorus certainly thought that Derby were a high one. Heavy tape calf. He still had 5 possessions in the last quarter and kicked that outstanding goal entering time onto the third. Riley clears. Phillips is back as the spare. But the Blues have got an enemy they just can't beat, and that's time. Matthew Nelson, he's going to have the spoils over brother Luke. Tackles Vickery. Burke. Luke Nelson after it. O'Leary, they've just found a way to get it from inside to out. Down went high on Wilson. It was a professional foul virtually. Askew with the don't argue to Gray for 3. And the finishing touch. Right on the siren. From out of business to all business. What a turnaround it has been for the Dolphins. In the past 7 years, they win 6 on the bounce and defeat Carlton in the end by 24 points. They've now won 11 games in 2025, and they are a genuine player. August is going to be fun, but they've got dates are coming in September, Chris Johnson.
They're going okay. They started a bit slow, but certainly that second